Have you ever considered how the current state of education might be improved? In the grand scheme of things, it's clear that education is at a critical juncture. Our world is evolving at an unprecedented pace, driven by technology, globalization, and the ever-changing needs of the job market. Yet in many ways, our education system is struggling to keep up. One of the most pressing challenges we face is student engagement. In a world filled with digital distractions, it's become increasingly difficult to capture and maintain students' attention. Traditional methods of teaching, with their focus on rote memorization and passive learning, often fail to spark curiosity or inspire a genuine love for learning. Moreover, there's the constant struggle to make complex concepts accessible and understandable. Teachers strive to demystify intricate subjects, to make them tangible for their students. But let's face it, not everyone finds joy in cracking complex equations or deciphering the nuances of Shakespearean prose, and that's okay. But what if there was a better way to help students grasp these concepts, a way that was not just effective but also enjoyable? Even more, there's the challenge of individual learning styles. Every student is unique, with their own way of understanding and absorbing information. Yet, traditional classrooms often adopt a one-size-fits-all approach, which can leave some students feeling lost, disengaged, and left behind. Let's not forget, education isn't just about imparting knowledge. It's about nurturing well-rounded individuals who can think critically, solve problems, and contribute positively to society. But how can we achieve this when our students are disengaged and uninspired? These challenges might seem daunting, but they also present an opportunity. An opportunity to reimagine education, to make it more engaging, more effective, and more inclusive. An opportunity to transform the way we teach and the way students learn. So let's ask ourselves again, how can we improve the current state of education? What if there was a method that could transform these challenges into opportunities? Scene script: enter the world of gamification, a trend that is revolutionizing the way we learn. So, what exactly is gamification? In its simplest form, gamification is the application of game-like elements into non-game contexts. It's like taking the fun and engaging aspects of a game and incorporating them into everyday activities, like learning. But it's not about turning education into a game, it's about using game mechanics to enhance the learning experience. Now let's dive a little deeper. You see, games are designed to be engaging. They're built with mechanics and features that keep players coming back for more. This might include things like points, levels, badges, leaderboards, and challenges. Gamification takes these elements and applies them to non-game scenarios, like education. So how does this work in a learning environment? Well, imagine a classroom where students earn points for completing assignments, level up by mastering new skills, or get badges for reaching milestones. It's all about creating a sense of achievement and progress, which can be incredibly motivating. But gamification isn't just about adding fun and games to the mix. It's also rooted in psychology. You see, games stimulate our brains in a way that traditional learning methods often don't. They engage us, challenge us, and reward us, triggering a range of emotions and cognitive processes. This not only makes learning more enjoyable, but it can also improve retention and recall. Moreover, gamification taps into our inherent desire for competition and collaboration. Whether it's working together to solve a problem or striving to top the leaderboard, these social dynamics can drive engagement and foster a sense of community. But it's important to note that gamification isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It needs to be carefully designed and implemented to ensure it aligns with learning objectives and caters to the needs and preferences of the learners. Now, you might be wondering, does gamification really work in a real-world setting? Let's examine a real-world scenario that highlights the power of gamification. Picture this: a middle school situated in the heart of a bustling city, a place where teachers were struggling to keep students engaged and where learning outcomes were far from ideal. That's when they decided to introduce gamification into their curriculum. The school began by integrating game-based learning into their math classes. Instead of simply presenting equations on the blackboard, they created interactive games where students could apply mathematical concepts to solve problems. They turned fractions into puzzle pieces, equations into treasure hunts, and geometry into architectural design challenges. The results? A classroom buzzing with energy and excitement. Students were no longer passive recipients of information, but active participants in their own learning journey. They were motivated to tackle challenging problems, eager to collaborate with their peers, and most importantly, they were having fun while learning. But the transformation didn't stop there. The school expanded the gamification approach to other subjects as well. In history classes, students embarked on virtual time travel adventures, exploring different eras and cultures. In science, they became detectives, solving mysteries based on scientific principles. The school even introduced a points system where students could earn badges for completing assignments, participating in class discussions, and demonstrating positive behavior. This system not only incentivized learning, but also promoted a healthy competitive spirit among the students. Now let's talk numbers. The school saw a significant increase in student engagement and understanding. Test scores improved by an impressive 20%, and student attendance rose by 15%. But beyond the numbers, teachers noticed a shift in the classroom atmosphere. Students were more enthusiastic, more curious, and more invested in their education. Moreover, the school saw a decrease in disciplinary issues. When learning became a game, students were less likely to act out or disengage from the class. They were too busy trying to earn points, solve problems, and unlock new levels of learning. But perhaps the most compelling outcome was the change in students' attitudes towards learning. They began to see education not as a chore, but as an exciting adventure. They started to understand that learning wasn't just about memorizing facts or acing tests, but about exploring new ideas, asking questions, and developing a lifelong love for knowledge. So, what does this case study tell us? It shows us that gamification is more than just a trendy buzzword. It's a powerful tool that can transform education, making it more engaging, more effective, and more enjoyable for students. It's a way to harness the natural curiosity and competitive spirit of children, turning the learning process into an adventure they look forward to every day. As we can see, gamification has the potential to make a significant impact in the educational sphere. You may be thinking, how can I apply gamification in my own classroom? The first step to gamification is to identify your objectives. What do you want your students to learn? Once you've got your objectives set, you can start brainstorming on the game elements that align with these objectives. For instance, if you're teaching fractions, you might create a pizza parlor game where students have to correctly divide pizzas into fractions to successfully complete orders. Next, consider how technology can be incorporated into your gamified lesson. There are numerous educational apps and platforms that make gamifying your classroom a breeze. Apps like Kahoot and Quizzes allow you to create interactive quizzes that can be played in real time. Other tools like Classcraft transform your classroom into a role-playing game, where students can level up and earn rewards for good behavior and academic performance. Now, let's talk about fostering a gameful mindset. This goes beyond just playing games. It's about cultivating a mindset of curiosity, exploration, and resilience in the face of challenges, just like a gamer. Encourage students to see obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. This can be done through the use of leaderboards, badges, and other forms of recognition that reward effort and progress, rather than just achievement. Lastly, don't forget to gather feedback and iterate. Gamification is a dynamic process. It's important to continuously evaluate the effectiveness of your gamified lessons and make necessary adjustments. This could mean changing the rules of the game, altering the reward system, or even switching to a different game entirely. And remember, while gamification can be a powerful tool in education, it's not a magic bullet. It's one of many strategies you can use to foster engagement and motivation in your classroom. The most important thing is to create a learning environment that is supportive, inclusive, and inspires curiosity. Remember, the goal of gamification is not just to play games, but to create a more engaging, motivating, and effective learning environment. In a world where attention is becoming increasingly difficult to capture, gamification offers a promising solution. We've embarked on a journey today, exploring the current state of education, the concept of gamification, its practical applications, and the ways to implement it in your classrooms. The beauty of gamification lies in its ability to convert the mundane into exciting, the complex into simple, and the passive into active. It has the potential to transform the landscape of education, making learning not just an obligation, but a thrilling adventure. Remember, the goal is not to turn education into a game, but to incorporate elements of gaming that can enhance learning, engagement, and retention. The challenge, the competition, the rewards, the progress, all these elements can make the process of learning more engaging and enjoyable. Teachers, it's time to level up your teaching game. Embrace the power of gamification and witness the change in your classrooms.